Perfect. Fantastic.
It's Halloween.
Wait. Can I move this ladder out of the background?
Oh my god.
I don't see it.
Yes.
But yes, you can
I
move
think we
it.
should just have the intro be John kicking the ladder.
I don't know. Like, I can't. All right,
Just
fuck
leave it. All right. Okay, John's going.
Okay.
Anyway.
Putting it over here.
Oh. Why we can't have nice things.
It really wasn't in shot, but sure, he's done it now.
This guy. All right.
Fuck.
Hello, everyone. Now that John doesn't have a ladder in his background, and welcome back to Icewind Dale, episode 2. So I want to take a quick moment and say thank you so much for the amazing response on episode 1. It's been incredible. As of recording this, there's been over 20,000 people watch it with the video and the audio versions combined, which has been amazing, and all your comments and stuff are just so nice. So thank you so much. It's good to be back. We're all having a lot of fun. I did mention audio versions, by the way, in case you missed it. We're on Spotify now, Google Podcasts, basically any podcast provider. You can just give a search, Guildgates and Goblins, and we should show up. So, with all that out of the way, which wasn't very much for once, I think we're ready to continue on in the campaign. Now, last time, we'll do a quick little recap. Last time, the party found themselves brought together by fate, also known as the forced beginning of a D&D campaign. And they found themselves taking on a job from Hlyn, a veteran shield dwarf who told them her theory about a notorious killer, seemingly a serial killer that was stalking 10 towns, the collection of small frozen towns at the edge of Icewind Dale that struggle to survive at the best of times, and now there's endless winter and murderers. It's even harder. So the party took it onto themselves to bring this killer to justice. They found that he was resting at the Northlook Tavern. Scramsax actually told them that this fella was essentially terrorizing and holding the inn to ransom in a way by forcing them to not expose his crimes or anything similar. The party fought Sefek in the bar. They managed to just about take him down. I enjoyed all the comments calling me merciless for making the party find him at level 1. You're absolutely right. So the party just about managed to take him down, with Justin contributing thoroughly by lying on the floor unconscious for most of the fight. However, the party now find themselves, I believe, headed out of the Northlook Tavern in the morning afterwards, having rested there for the night to recoup. And they are heading back to the marketplace to find Hlyn, who said that she would be around there most of the time in case the party wanted to report back. So, party, well, I will hand it over to you. We'll say that you are just approaching the edge of the marketplace. You do see Hlyn, for the sake of ease, sort of just posted up around the small scaffolding that the town crier was on yesterday. You can see her just resting, taking long, weary draws on her tobacco pipe and seemingly just staring at the sky. It's a beautiful, bright, clear day in the Dale, and were it not, minus 10 degrees out here, you'd probably be quite enjoying the weather, but you see Hlyn there, puffing on her pipe as you approach. What would you like to do?
Shuffle towards her with my cute dwarven legs.
You dwarven business walk up to her, which anyone who's played Divinity Original Sin 2 knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Love it.
The dwarven walking animation in that is top shelf. But so you stride, we'll say stride, take some dwarven pride towards her, and she looks up and she goes, "Oh, back so soon. I'm glad to see you all here."
Yeah.
Could have been a little worse. That guy put up a good old fight, but we got him in the end. Where's the thing? Where's the who took the eye?
I have one of them, but I think someone else has the other one.
I have the other one.
I'll just take the eye out of my pocket.
An eye? Was this a magical relic he was using, or
No.
what do you mean by an eye?
They just decided to kind of dig into his skull and retract the eyeball from it as proof that he's now dead.
Said you wanted proof.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's a way of killing a fella. All right, well, and she looks down at the small... Now the glow is completely diminished from the eyes, and they're just kind of almost like clouded through, dull and milky, and she looks at them and she goes, "Oh, right, well, I'll take your word for it. You can keep the eyes, and, well, as promised, here's a bag with 100 gold pieces in it. Now, if you want to count it, I won't be offended, but it's all
I count
there."
it.
Okay, it's all there. How many gold pieces?
I take 20 and throw them to my companions.
All right.
You throw 20 at us and keep
just shower you in them.
Yeah.
No, throw the bag at you.
I will take my 20.
So
Who
this
dispersed the money?
She looks at you dispersing the money and she goes, "Well, I suppose this is where our arrangement comes to an end. But I know you did it mostly for the money, but you've done a good thing, so take pride in that. And well, take care. If you ever need me, you'll see me around."
Glyn.
This. Oh yes.
Oh, actually, I don't know that. Never mind. I was down on the ground when that happened. Just
Well,
kidding.
I would say when you were down in combat, you weren't like fully unconscious. You were
Okay.
semi-conscious. You can ask what you were going to ask.
Sure. When Cephik died, he seemed like he was like bleeding blue magics, like just out of his eyes and everywhere. Is that normal?
No. I wouldn't say normal. But right, that's most concerning. Honestly, I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry. Perhaps somebody more arcane or more familiar with the local magics of the Dale would know more.
Would you happen to know anyone like that?
No. Truth be told, we're in Shandor isn't exactly water deep. There's, no grand colleges here. Sorry.
Was
Right.
Stethix always here? Was he always like this? Or was that
Sethek?
more recent? Yes, Stethix.
I've only become aware of him since the killings. Never heard of him before.
All right, so now what do? Do we go our separate ways?
And with this, she kind of just goes, sorry to butt in, but I'll be off. If you ever need me, I'm sure you can find me around. Farewell, and once again, good work for what you did. And with this, she starts walking away, and you see her just thumbing more tobacco into her pipe as she heads out of the market. And with that, Lynn is gone.
Bye, Lynn.
What a great NPC.
Is the
Thank you.
town crier around?
Make me a perception check. Why not?
Oh gosh,
Actually, no. Make me an investigation check.
much worse.
Oh,
I got a 3.
Oh, with a nat 22. Wah.
If anybody else is looking for him, you are also welcome to roll. But Justin,
wouldn't
I'm
be.
afraid you don't see him.
All right.
So, what now?
Well,
it seems like our business is concluded.
I am interested to find more about how he came into being. If anyone would like to join me, just looking, I don't feel comfortable. There might be more of whatever he was out there.
well, he sure wasn't the good sort, that's for sure.
I don't
I don't know.
have anywhere to go. And nothing to do. 20 gold is a good chunk, but there's got to be more out there. There's got to be more work.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I do. I'd be down to do any of these adventurings I hear all the kids talking about. But
Aye.
I don't want to get myself into too much of a pickle, if you know what I mean.
Well, does anyone know maybe a wizard or an arcane? Eddie, you said you were of the wizarding sort, right?
I cast magic. I'm more a fisherman by trade, but Fletch, did you have maybe your weird old woman, young woman person can, I don't know, whatever the hell that was.
Connor, would I know of anyone of a magic sort or wise
Ooh.
sages that may
Make
be
me
able to assist?
Make me a history check. We'll go with how well you know the area of 10 towns.
Okay. A 9.
A 9. Not disastrous. I would say that you'd, especially because of your background, you'd be aware that there are certainly practitioners of sort of shamanic magic and folklore, almost. Icewind Dale is one of those places where there's really so little sort of like written down knowledge in a way that folklore and the reality of the magic of the place often blends together. And that leads to, a lot of sort of, shamanic and very ritualized practitioners. And you would know that that's fairly commonplace in the Dale. But I'm afraid you wouldn't really know any personally enough to find them.
No, I can't really say I know anyone who would really know much about it. We could go and talk to my contact again, but it's not really something she would deal with, I don't think.
Yes, and all my contacts are more of the rough and tough of the area, not so much the magic sort.
I have no context in this podunk town.
Connor, would I know anyone? I think I may have been here the longest, but...
You have. I would say because of your origins, your professions, there'd be one person that you suspect might know something about powerful magics, especially, of a very sort of local, nature-esque way. But you would not know how to find that person.
Okay.
You've certainly met them, but you might not know how to get to them.
Okay. See, now I'm not sure if I want to reveal this information.
I'm trying to say as much as I can. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh dear God, I'm scared.
I say nothing.
Okay.
So, normally, we'd, I assume, ask some rug trader for some info.
Could we please
I
not
would-
terrorize the rogue traders today?
Maybe
prefer not
Izar
to
can
see
give
it
that a
today.
chance.
Oh.
Is
As you are, my apologies. Continue, Kat.
Connor? Would I know if there's like a guild hall in this town or anything? I
would say you would know that the Northlook Tavern is pretty commonly used to find, as you put it, more sort of muscle, to be blunt. People looking for guards, people looking for security, or just maybe more nefarious hires. They would typically use the Northlook Tavern. As to actual sort of like guild work, outside of the city guard, no real formal sort of arrangement would exist for that sort of stuff. The guard is a fairly common one to go to. They sort of hire a lot of sellswords, a lot of people looking for that kind of work and wanting to work a little bit more in official means. But generally speaking, there's no adventurers guild, for instance. This isn't Baldur's, this isn't Waterdeep, etc. So.
Personally, I prefer not to get my hands dirty, but if I have to use my hands for something, then I would prefer it to be the cleanest of the sort. So I vote that we go talk to the guards and ask them if they need any assistance. But
That went so well last time.
well, I was offering a very fantastic deal, and he didn't know how to do deals. Probably because he's from a podunk town.
Perhaps if you didn't approach people with such a presumptuous attitude, you'd get further with them when you talk to them.
And such disdain.
I did not approach him with a negative attitude. I approached him offering a service for some information, and he decided to essentially spit in my face, and I do not appreciate that one bit.
Ah,
You
but it was a
dirtied
little
his
petty of you.
merchandise.
Yeah, that was a
You
little petty.
dirtied his rugs.
You broke his stick.
I didn't break a
Oh.
stick. I'm not
that
strong
was
enough to do
actually me.
Well, between the two of you,
I thought that maybe a little persuasion in the physical form would
oh,
work
right,
more
let's
and
just
get us
walk up and
faster.
intimidate everyone. We're such big old monsters, aren't we?
Hey everybody on YouTube, welcome to the everyone just yells at each other episode of D&D.
Wait, isn't that every episode?
Yeah, I don't actually have any content planned. This is going to be the next 2 hours.
Well, all right. Well, no swords. Let's just go talk to them.
Right, fine.
I'm not talking to the rug man anymore.
Are you,
No,
are
you
you
stay
going to
away
talk to the
from the
guards, sorry,
merchants.
Kat?
The city guards.
Sure. There's you can very easily see that there's a few pairs posted around the edges of the marketplace. You walk to one's closest to you. towards the north side of the market, as that's where you entered from Northlook. And yeah, they're just a couple of guards there. And as you approach, I assume all of the party's going with you.
Yep.
Yes.
They look up towards you. You're very relieved to see it's neither of the guards from yesterday's rug incident. And as they look up towards you, they just give you a curt nod and kind of look quizzically, wondering why you're approaching.
Excuse me, sirs. I have a quick question.
There's two guards. One of them's a halfling, and the other one is quite a large, bulky, you assume human, could potentially be a half-orc, and you can't really see because they're wearing like basin helmets. And he looks down and he goes, "All right, well, what is it you need?"
We're looking for someone that is of a magical sort. That's someone that could help us ascertain a little bit of a problem that we're having, but we need someone with an arcane study. Do you know anyone like that? Is there a wizard in this town?
Arcane study. Not really Bryn Shanda's strong point, you know what I mean? Maybe somebody higher up in the guard could help you. I know that they've worked with some specialist cases. Some of the mages they get around are right weird, but you'd probably be looking higher up the chain, honestly. Sorry, we're not exactly up to it. And with this, the halfling with him, and looks at him and goes, "Watch your tongue. I might know all sorts about magic. You can't prove otherwise." And with this, the larger chap goes, "Ignore him. He doesn't know a thing about magic."
Well, is there someone, as you put it, higher up the chain that we might be able to get into contact with?
Well, we work out of the northern garrison, right on North Gate, built into the tower of the gate. Honestly, our commander's there, but she'd be the one to talk to, really. Commander Fiona should be inside the tower. She, might be able to help you with your problem. Sorry, I can't really be much more help than that, but...
No, you've been plenty help. Thank you. I will go speak to this Fiona.
All right, well, just try to stay on her good side. She's not the most... Well, go have a chat with her.
Fantastic.
Slight
Seems like everybody
hesitation,
here
but
is.
nods.
Connor, do I know Fiona?
No.
Or of her? No.
Is she an ogre?
Is she an ogre?
That's spoilers for later.
Whoa,
Oh dear.
somebody. Well, no.
All right, so are you going to head up past the north look towards the northern gate?
Towards the gate.
Head
Okay.
north.
So as you guys head towards the gate of Bryn Shanda, you can see outside this beautiful clear day is continuing, but there is nothing beyond the gates of Bryn Shanda for as far as the eye can see. The track lazily wends off and over the horizon, but other than that, it is tundra and not much else. Now, when you get to the North Gate outpost, it's kind of built into the gate structure itself. It's a gatehouse with like an iron portcullis in the middle that can be raised from what looks to be a room above it. And as you go and enter one of the sides of this gatehouse, they both look identical. So we'll say you go on the left-hand side, why not? You enter into a small, sort of naturally lit stone room. There's a couple of torches on the wall, but they're unlit at the moment as it's daytime. And there appears to be a very stern-faced woman sitting behind a desk in that room. She appears to be half-elven, and she eyes you with beady suspicion as you pass through the couple of guards on the door and straight into the room. She looks up at me and goes, "Right, and who might you be? Are you here for afternoon patrol?"
No. We're looking for either some assistance or if there's any way that we could assist you. We're looking for information on potentially a magical person who could give us magical information. Or failing that, we wouldn't mind some more.
So you're looking for a magical person or work?
Well, hello, ma'am. It's very good to meet you. We are looking for someone of a magical nature that can help us ascertain we have this magic that we're unsure of, and we need someone within arcane studies. Is there anyone, or yourself, that can help us with this little problem?
And with this, she looks up towards you, Darmok, and goes, "Okay, first off, don't call me ma'am. I'm not a madam, thank you. My title's Commander. And also, we may be able to assist with this. We will need to know the nature of what it is that you're looking into. The guards' resources aren't available for everyone, and you must understand we are vitally understaffed right now. So, as your companion put it, if you were to take on some work, well, let's just say that may buy me time to find somebody who you're looking for.
I'm gonna kind of like whisper into whoever is the closest to us, just like
Huddle up.
should we tell her that we like killed the dude? I mean, like technically it's like extrajudicial killing, but like he was a murderer.
Yeah,
He
it can
did
only
say
be
he
a
was
good thing.
murderer.
Yeah, I would say
We
it can
could
only
just
score
say
us points.
I think we could. I mean, she seems a little bit on the stiffer side, but I think she would like to know this. Might be a good idea.
Just approach it carefully, that's all I say. She might be prone to a little bit of explosions, if you know what I mean.
So the information
Mouth noises.
it pertains
that.
to you know all the murders that have been happening around town. We handled the person who was doing those.
With this, you see, roll me an insight check.
Oh gosh.
He's
Oh,
why
boy.
not?
Excited. I'm excited.
Oh,
love it,
that
man.
one. See,
You've done nothing all campaign.
Wow.
I'm Trace. I'm Trace.
You can't tell. An expression passes her face, but you're not quite sure what it is. And she cocks an eyebrow and goes, "Did you now?
Yes.
Aye.
And what proof of this do you have?"
I have some, and I'm going to pull out the eyeball of and
Sefik.
show Sefik. Yeah, show her.
Ugh,
With this,
it's
she
so
goes-
gross.
She, without hesitation, takes it from your hand, and she kind of rolls it over between her fingers. Goes,
Wait.
"This to me looks like the eye of a blind man."
Okay. Okay.
Well, it was glowing blue not too long ago.
So I'm sure.
You're speaking about Sefik Caltro.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes.
Turns
That
out he
elderly
was
shield
the...
dwarf had been trying to get us onto that for a long time. Fortunately, people more powerful than myself weren't willing to listen.
And he did admit to the crime before.
Yes.
I mean, for what it's worth, that's not really worth much. He can't really. We're the only ones who can kind of corroborate that, except for one person who I'm pretty sure would be very upset if I mention him. But you know,
Well, there was plenty of witnesses.
yeah,
it was
but they're from an area. I don't stay at that inn. I know you. I didn't say anything
With
about an
this,
inn.
with this, she cocks almost like a half crooked smile and goes, "Scramsack saw you deal with this person."
I didn't say that.
I will vouch for Scramsax.
Tell me, you're new here, looking at you, Izar. And she simply goes, "How many inns do you think there are in Bryn Shander?"
I assumed there was at least one more inn that was nicer than Norfolk, so I assumed I would have stayed there. But if it's not, then awkward.
There are 2 inns. And I don't think that sort of thing is going to be happening in the other one.
Yeah, that's the one that I stay. I stay in the nicer one.
So Scramsack
her
saw you deal with this. So if I were to walk the 20 feet out of the door to the Northlook Inn and ask him, he would vouch for you all.
Absolutely. I trust Scramsax. He's a old friend of mine.
No. Look, the thing is, I don't really hang around these types, so I don't know if they're amenable to talking to people of authority. Let's call them that. People of power and authority.
Listen, we're the Bryn Shander Guard. We aren't, the Royal Guard of Waterdeep. I tell you what, I'll add that to my list. While you run some errands for me, I'll go speak to Scramsax. If what you say checks out, then I'll see what I can do about sourcing you somebody with arcane knowledge. However, you'll still have to tell me what it is you want looking into. I don't know whether I am to fetch a priest or something else. What is it
Well,
you need knowledge on?
It seemed that Sefik used primarily ice-based magic. So whoever you would speak to about that sort of thing, we would like to speak to.
You're looking to talk to someone in Icewind Dale about ice.
Yes.
Aye.
Strange as that may sound.
Mention the weird blood stuff.
When we were taking Suffolk down, every hit drew no blood, and the corpse, even before it became a corpse, was ice to the touch. It didn't seem natural, and
He
Well-
was like a popsicle himself.
he didn't seem to care.
We could know more of
any
this
hit.
in here, I think. I've heard enough.
Understood.
This sounds like the foul magic of one of the Frost Maidens devoted. Very well. Undertake a task for me, and while you're doing it, as payment, and you won't be receiving any other payment, I want to make that painfully clear, I'll find the people who you need.
Thank you, Commander. It's a great help.
Bear in mind, getting to them may require a journey in itself, but I shall send word out, see what I can muster. Now, as for your end of the bargain, I'm going to need you to head upstairs to the guard room and perhaps talk to the guests we have in there.
Guests?
Very well.
Are they the fancy kind, or
A few dwarves showed up, delirious, frostbitten out of their mind. They showed up here this morning, complaining of a raid on their sled. They were to bring iron ingots to the Black Iron Blades foundry. Yes, well, nonetheless, they were meant to bring them there. And they're claiming that they were attacked. Now, they say it was by something huge, looking like a yeti. So, go up and talk to them. We haven't processed them yet. Find out what you can. And I want you to go, and I want you to retrieve that sled full of iron ingots. They're vitally important to the ongoing resources of Bryn Shander. We can't have a shipment like that missing.
may I, Commander?
Mm-hmm.
If we were to find this sled, would you consider using Bright Steel Foundry instead of Black Iron Blades?
She stares you with an icy gaze. Make a persuasion check.
My work's better than yours.
13.
13. She seems to relax a little bit and goes, I mean, I can pass it along to our quartermaster if you wish, but this shipment is between the dwarves and Black Iron Blades. The guard is not a broker. We simply would rather see shipments protected, because of course, if this one doesn't make it here, others will lose faith and the town will suffer.
Understood. If we do a good job, I would love to show you some of my handiwork.
Just one question from me, Commander. Are we just to return the iron ingots, or are we also to take out this the creature, whatever it may be?
Well, for right now, we just have to talk to the people upstairs. We don't have to go out in the snow. Come on. Don't volunteer us for things that we don't need to do.
Your boss friend is somewhat correct. Go talk to the dwarves. Find out what they find out what they know. Of course, your priority is making sure the shipment makes it here. There are a lot worse things out there than a couple of yetis, or perhaps some wolves. I mean, hopefully they're in somewhat of a better shape now, but when they arrived, they were speaking gibberish. So make sure the shipment gets back. Any other work you do out there, well, that's optional.
Yay.
Right.
For what it's
Let's-
worth, I wouldn't try to take on yetis. They tend to live in small groups and, well, they'll tear you apart.
Yep, they're a nasty lot.
Very well,
Where do we go?
Commander. Darmok's gonna
test.
give her a little bit of a wry smile, just a little.
So what did you say, Darmok? What you?
He's flirting.
He's not even the bard.
He's trying.
It's fine. Very well, Commander.
Oh,
And then the little
Schmancy.
wiry smile.
you get back what could only be described as a death glare. And she gestures towards a stone staircase set into the tower on the side and goes, up there, in the guard room above. You'll find them in there.
Can I
I'm
backhand
already on my
Darmok?
way.
Be like, cut it out.
All right. So you guys are making your way straight up? Okay, you head up the small rounding staircase until you reach the top and you enter the guardhouse above the iron gate. And immediately when you're in there, you see that there are a couple other guards stationed in there, one on each door holding a halberd, but in the middle there's this long sort of wooden table. It's covered in notes and maps, and it seems like it may be somewhat of almost like a strategic room for the guard here. And you can see sitting there are 3 dwarves in almost like covered in a rime fur heavy pelt outdoor clothing in the Dales. So this is real extreme weather survival kit. They've all got heavy furs and snowshoes on, and they have these huge overladen packs leaning against the tables beside them. And there's 3 dwarves in there. One of them seems to be just kind of 1,000-yard stare and pale as a ghost and isn't really saying anything, but the other 2 seem to be quietly speaking, one of them in a shaky, nervous voice, but the more confident one looks up towards you and just goes, "Oh? Well, are you the ones going to get our sled back? We've been waiting all stinking day for the guard to come and sort this out, and now they send you."
Yeah, they
Uh-huh.
sent us. So get used to it.
As you're aware, I'm sure, the guard is stretched a little thin. What with, all the nonsense going on out there at the moment. So, yeah, they've had to outsource a few contractors, and those be us.
Right. Well, how much have they told you? It's pretty simple. We were mining at Kelvin's Cairn, and we're bringing it back to Bryn Shander after processing the ore. And, well, turns out those giant monstrosities had got some of our scent. They followed us, attacked us, and, well, they ripped Obok limb from limb. I don't want to go back there to deal with it, so seems like it's your luck.
Whereabouts did this happen?
About halfway, in between the town and Kelvin's Cairn. As we were running off, well, they didn't seem to be taking anything with them. You think it was just a random attack. The sled should still be out there.
How many of them were there? Do you remember?
It was all ice and wind, mate. I was running for my life. At least 2, that's what I saw.
And was it definitely Yetis? That's what the commander said it was.
Yeah. Well, not that you'll get anything out of him, but Koroks has seen him before. And he sort of gives a curt nod towards the dwarf who's just staring at the wall. He seems absolutely paralyzed in fear. Yes, but really, I think they followed us from the cairn. I don't think they'll be there now, yet he's got no use for iron ingots.
How did you get away? Did you just run?
Yeah, run, mate. It ain't that far. Couple kilometers out. Problem is, visibility's so bad out there. Could be 10 miles for all we know. I just ran until I saw the walls.
Oh, must have been a pretty harrowing experience for you lads. Hope your friend will be okay.
Oh, he's fine. He hasn't spoken for years. And at this, the more nervous one that the dwarf you're speaking to was talking with when you went in, snaps his head up towards you and goes, "He's not right. He's not right. It's a dragon. It must have been a white dragon attacking us. I've always seen them. I've always seen them." And he seems to be trying to stare out the window of one of the guardhouse windows, the small slits to fire arrows through. Seems to be kind of trying to get an angle on the sky and staring through it. Because they're always following me. They're always there. With this, the larger dwarf just goes, ignore him. He's always going on about dragons. He's never seen one.
Have you?
No. They're not exactly a common sight in the gate, which is exactly where I'm going right back to after this is done. Sick of this place.
So about halfway.
Yep. I'll take you down to the gate, point you in a direction. Let's go get the sled.
Would you be willing to pay us for the retrieval of this sled?
With this, he kind of fixes you with a glare and he goes, you all right? The job was for iron, but you find other things when you're mining. We've got a few gems. We'll keep them in a small pouch. Got right here. So pats one of his layers of furs. And he goes, you bring the sled back, we'll give them to you.
Seems fair.
Izar, are you
Right.
hear about that? That
Sorry,
work
what-
for
What did you
Izar?
say, sorry? Oh, Isa. I thought you were asking me a question.
You know, Izar was as soon as they were talking smack to us, he pulled out a nail file, started filing his talons, and then as soon as he heard gems, he was just like, oh.
Both Izar and Darmok did.
All right.
A bit of a sensitive topic, but if we find how do I put this lightly for someone of your constitution? A little bit of your some remnants. Is there anything in particular that you think we should bring back for sentimental reasons or anything like that?
Yeah, the iron, you twazzock.
No.
Look,
He's,
I don't give a shit about Obok, all right?
All right.
And as for Constitution comments, and he pulls off one of his heavy fur gloves, and you see now that, like, his ring finger and his little finger are seemingly, like, tore off at the first knuckle, but it's an old wound. You can see it's very well healed, and he goes, I've got more like this. Frostbite. Well, and then he holds up the glove and flicks his other ring finger, like, down because the finger is empty, and he goes, that one was dynamite. You can't exactly mine if you're not willing to, you know, be a little bit tough. So I don't care at all about Obok. Bring back the iron.
All right. Seems like we've got our mission ahead of us there, friends. Anything we want to do before we set off, or?
And with this, the nervous dwarf goes, wait. He's not. Why wouldn't you tell them about? Look, here we are. And he pulls open the top of his pack and he goes, you might want these. And he pours out, and you see now that there are several, more than enough for all of you to find some that fit you, pairs of, like, heavily bound snow boots in there. He's like, wear these. Otherwise, your feet will end up like Obok's. Oh, sorry, Obok. He starts pouring out the boots on the floor. He goes, find a pair that fit you. You'll want to wear them. It's very cold, very dangerous out there.
Oh, I
I love the idea that this guy just has a sack of boots and he's just like,
what colors are the boots? Are they like a
They're
heavy
mostly
fur?
sort of they're mostly, there's some that are like lighter shades of fur, but the majority of them are kind of like darkened wax hides, where you can see fur peeping out from layers in between. But there are most kind of, you know, naturally found types of fur there. All lovely, beautiful shades of grey. You can take your pick.
These aren't too shabby. Nicely done. You make these yourself?
No, company provides them. But, well, you know, you could say that. Maybe I say that I lost mine. They give me extras, and then I never really return the
Ooh.
extras, so I've got quite a few.
all right.
You can take them.
We won't
You
tell
can as
anyone
well.
about that. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna take the lightest color and I'm gonna grumbly put it on and be like, my whole outfit is gonna stand out with these boots.
As you put them on, all of you see that on the inside, on the heel, is just written "Property of Storn" in very, very crude common letters. He goes, "Don't worry about giving them back. I've got a couple other bags. It's fine."
A couple other bags. Storn, is this you?
Earth.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the boots.
Hope
They'll
you're
come
all
in
right.
handy.
Yes, very good. Might fall over less with them. Don't fall over.
We'll
Yeah,
not
people
fall
don't get back
over.
up. Especially if Yetis are there. Don't fall over.
I hate this guy.
I love it.
Just giving you
I
some
love
lovely
it.
boots.
You just
I
give us
know,
free
I know.
boots. Okay.
I know, I'm very happy, but
Complaining?
he's giving
tweaking
me
or something.
anxiety,
I'm a bit
man.
on edge. I'm a bit on edge with this guy.
He goes, all right, off you go then. Yeah, let us know when you find the dragon. Find the iron. Get the iron. Get the
Cool.
iron. Do that.
Hey, Connor. They're not being
Yes.
like held prisoner or anything, right? They're just in like a waiting room.
No, they're
No.
fine.
Okay.
They're sitting. They all have like steaming mugs of some
Okay.
sort of brew
So they're
in front
being
of them.
taken
and
care of.
They're fine. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
None of them are manacled or anything like that. You can see that these guys are obviously recuperating, basically.
Yeah, okay.
They found safety.
So, can you show us which way to go?
Yep, right, that's me. I reckon I can just do it out here, actually. And he walks up with you, Eddie, kind of, puts a hand on your shoulder and leads you to one of the windows by the wall. And he goes, "You see that rise right there? Just to the right of the path. That direction, mate. Go. Honestly, it's a few hours ago. Our tracks will probably still be out there. You can probably just follow them to the sled.
Let's hope they're still there.
Let's hope so. That sled ain't there. That's a name change in a new city, I reckon, for me."
Well, let's make sure that doesn't happen. Quick question to all of you: is all your armor and your weapons fine? Do you need anything tinkered or touched up or patched or anything like that? Because I can offer you my services before we go out and potentially fight something.
Are you talking to us?
Yes. Do you?
Oh, I don't wear armor.
Do you have weapons?
I'm gonna produce my quarterstaff.
All right, you did
Same.
nothing the whole fight. Never mind. You're fine.
I pull out a nicely crafted, almost three-quarter length walking stick, and I say, "Yeah, I don't wear armor either. It gets in the way of the magic stuff."
Actually, Dorothea, I did take one nasty blow holding Sephic back for my plate mail. Would you be able to get this little chink out for
Oh,
me?
certainly. We can make a quick stop past Bright Steel Foundry and then be on our way.
I would say you would know that repairing any amount of damage to armor is a job that would probably take, a few hours.
Okay.
It's not a small job.
All right. Well, actually, well, it might take a little longer than that. Are we champing at the bit to go? I guess we are, in case anyone
Yeah,
else
I'd like to
finds
get
it.
this
So,
done.
Yes.
all right,
Why don't we
let's
do it on
go.
the way back?
Yeah, for sure. Let's go get this and then
Just
on the way
because
back.
it was a dagger, so it's like punched through the
Yeah.
armor. Essentially, it would be a decent
Alright.
repair job.
Yeah,
But your armor's fully functional.
once I've had a look at it, then I'll be like, no, that'll take a little longer. Just
Well,
don't
it might
stabbed
get
there
some more
again.
dents.
Yeah.
It might get some more dents, so we can
Face them with the other side. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
fine.
So,
All right,
yeah.
so you
I'll-
guys are heading out.
Yeah. Once we get out of earshot of the dwarves, I will say essentially to the group, when I was talking about constitution, I definitely was talking about mental and emotional constitution, which they proved my point of. So, just saying.
Oh, it's fine. At least you offered. That was very nice of you.
Hey, Izar,
This is why I'm not nice.
could we not make jokes at the person that is going to be paying us in the
Well,
future?
I said it after. But also, I wasn't making jokes. I was pointing something out
Yeah.
that was obviously true. I just speak the truth, and people get upset at me. I don't know why.
He sounds like a YouTube commenter. As well.
At 1425, why didn't you block his greater Gargadon? Idiot!
Look, you're great at Gargadon. Anyway, so as you're heading out back down towards the gate, you reach the iron portcullis and you see a guard in the room up above you give you a wave out the window, and with that and a great creak, and you can see all the snow from the night before just suddenly jut and shift off of the iron portcullis. It lifts up and into the building, and it is only the path ahead of you. There is nobody or no vehicles visible on it. You are pretty sure that you remember the direction. It's just kind of like just off to the right of the path that you were pointed in by Hruna. I'm not sure if you asked his name. His name was Hruna.
Hruner.
Hruna.
Is that Hlins?
Flynn's brother, yes. You were pointed in that direction by Hruna, which is Hruna, if you want to make a note.
That's not how I spelled it.
There you go. I'm sure it wasn't. And yeah, you're free to head off. What would you like to do? Would you like to do any preparatory stuff, or would you like to just sort of jump into fast travel in that direction mode?
Fast
would-
travels.
I'm ready to roll.
Yeah,
Let's
let's go
rumble.
get iron. Woo!
All right. Because it will affect some stuff. One of you can make me a survival check. I imagine this will
Ooh.
probably be Craig. Can make me a survival check to establish how well you can sort of pick up on the visual clues. Maybe you see some tracks or something as you attempt to find the dwarf's path.
Don't screw it,
Okay.
Craig. Don't screw
I
it.
shall make the check. It's a
You
6.
screwed it.
Wow.
I
Wow, we're
screwed
rolling
it.
like butts today.
Oh my
trail.
Well,
goodness.
there's snow in front of us right there.
It's the whole
sir.
campaign.
There's snow. Thanks, Fletch. Thanks.
Okay, so you don't really manage to latch on to his tracks that he was talking about, but you head fairly confidently in that direction nonetheless. Now, as you head out into the freezing tundra, the winds do kick up, and all of a sudden it is very much so like a hostile environment out here. It's all the sort of comfort and relative warmth and safety of Bryn Shander has evaporated at this point as you start to reach the top of the rise that he was speaking about. Just before you crest the rise, however, out of nowhere almost, the winds and the snow begin to pick up and swirl around you to the point that you can barely see 10 or 15 feet in front of you. This is truly a blizzard kicking up around you right now. You're seemingly relatively safe in the middle of it, although you've had to wrap up against the winds. But is there anything you'd like to do, or would you like to try and wait the blizzard out?
So it came out like kind of all of a sudden, right?
Very swiftly it picked up, yes. Kind of in swirling winds around you.
Dorothea is just standing like frozen, staring at it.
I'm gonna like walk
Right.
backward a couple yards.
Okay, you walk backward a couple of yards. You are
I'm
still
just-
in the blizzard.
Okay, I'm just
Even
trying.
with
I was
those
just trying to
even
see.
with those couple of yards, you notice that the vision of your companions quickly begins to fail. Like this is a serious flurry of snow that you're in right now.
Okay, I mean, I was just seeing if it was just like located in a certain area. But all right, I'll run back up with him.
I don't
Gonna-
like
Could I,
this at
could
all.
could I try to light a torch?
Yeah,
Is
you
that
can
possible?
absolutely. You can try.
Right.
I'd say make me a survival check again. See how crafty you are in lighting a torch in the blizzard.
Not.
Hey!
Wow.
Quite good, it seems.
You very, very deftly kind of cover up with a portion of your furs, and yeah, you manage to strike the tinderbox and light the torch off of it immediately. It roars to life, but due to the nature of the sort of visual obscurity, you do illuminate the snow. Like you can see the snow now rushing past you and get some light back in your bearings, but you can't see anything at all. Now, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to press on, or are you going to wait the blizzard out?
Well, I'm all for pressing on, but what do you lot want to do?
A bit of cold never bothered me, so pressing on is fine, but what does everyone else say?
Never bothered me anyway.
Hey.
I've spent way too many days at sea for this cold to get bothering me. I say we keep pushing.
Let's like not necessarily tie ourselves together. Let's all
Good
hold onto
idea.
a rope.
I'm gonna grab onto the nearest person to me and just like hold on for dear life.
I'm just gonna pull out my rope. Just everyone hold on to the rope. Don't
I
let go
have
of
the
the rope.
rope.
Okay, so you all take
Going
hold
to
of
kindergarten.
Izar's rope and join yourselves together, and you're going to attempt to push on in this blizzard. So I'm going to need a survival check from someone. You can decide amongst you who wants to do that, and I'm going to need a Constitution check from everyone as well.
Constitution
Yeah.
saving throw.
Yes, that's.
Ah, the one time I'm not a sorcerer.
Double that 20, please!
I have a
15.
Wow.
1 in 400. Nice.
There you go.
Son of a-
I got a 4 on the.
I got a 9.
Hey!
That's a char- I rolled a
Charisma save.
Okay.
You're gonna
Uh,
talk
well,
that storm
I'll have
away. Woo!
So Dorothy,
Sing it away.
sorry, Craig. What else were you saying?
Well, sorry, I used the same roll, but it should be a 10 rather than a 4 for my modifier.
Okay. What about your survival? Oh, you did
Oh,
roll survival. Natural 20. Very nice.
Well, that was for the torch.
the
Oh,
last
that was the
one.
torch.
Shall
Yeah,
we- shall
sorry.
I
Roll
roll
me
another
another one. Yeah, roll me a
Alright.
survival check.
That's the
13.
13.
Okay. With the 13, I would say that Fletch, you're pretty confident that you're continuing en route. However, the cold is significant, and Fletch, you got a little bit used to like city life almost in Bryn Shander, and you haven't truly prepared properly for this. And I would say that Izar and Fletch, you both suffer a point of exhaustion as the blizzard just wears you down as you travel, and you begin to feel it numbing your bones and just sapping all of the energy out of you. However, Dorothea and Cat, that's your real name. Oh my god,
Oi.
spoilers. Dorothea and
Spoilers.
Darmok, you managed to brave yourselves against the cold. Maybe it's your heavier armor, or maybe it's just fortitude, but you seem to be dealing with it okay. Eddie, you're positively toasty, just strolling along. I mean,
We're good.
You rolled
Classic.
two
Nat
nat
20s. Yeah.
20s.
yeah, that's extremely
You're
rare.
very
but,
warm.
I am
You're like
water
Bahamas,
genasi.
baby.
Fuck ice.
hot bath genasi.
Is the torch still on?
Yes. I
Okay.
would assume that, sort of Fletch is leading the way with the torch and managing to seemingly keep you all on track. Now, after 2 hours of walking in this and barely making any progress, the wind's so strong that as you take a step, by the time you lift your foot again, there's a mound of snow in front of it. However, eventually, it fades away. After about an hour and a half, if you had to guess, the wind dies down, and just as quickly as it picked up, the blizzard is over. Now, looking behind you, you can see that you've made it over this rise in the terrain and can no longer see the walls of Bryn Shander. However, as you do crest this ridge, what you do see instead is off in the distance a frozen, dismembered corpse in some sort of ditch in front of you. Snow's covering some of it already, but the headless torso and severed limbs strewn around are visible. You can see tracks in the snow all around the corpse, and the telltale grooves that appear to be somewhat significant of a sled having been hauled away.
Gonna cast Mage Armor.
All right.
Same.
I would like to cast Divine Sense to see if there's anything in this area.
Sure, could you remind me of the wording on Divine Sense?
Sure. The presence of strong evil registers in your senses like a noxious odor. The powerful good rings like heavenly music. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. Until your next turn, you know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within the 60 feet.
Okay. You...
I do know
Okay,
the type too.
Okay, you don't detect anything so
Okay.
much. It's 60 feet, right?
60 feet.
Okay, good. You're not going to like ping the entire tundra. No, you don't. You don't
1,000
detect
feet.
anything around you. It's like 5-mile radius.
It's the
just like,
Frost Maiden. Oh dear lord.
No, you don't detect anything around you.
Understood. So I don't sense anything in this area, at least.
No, nothing is firing on your divine radar right now.
I turn back to the group and I say, well, I don't sense anything around here, so I think it's okay to at least approach.
Yeah, I'm
think
gonna take
that's
a
Orbok?
cursory look at the body there.
So you're going up to the body?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys head over to the, we'll say the carnage. That's essentially here. As you get closer, there are numerous tracks around. Now, somebody can make me a investigation check about the tracks. I'll let you decide who does it, but whoever has it can do it with advantage because you'd all see these. So, who wants to make an investigation roll?
I'll roll.
I'll roll.
Okay.
Sure.
You go for it.
Eddie,
Whack.
go.
15.
15.
Nice.
Okay, you can see several sets of tracks here. Now, you can indeed see that there are 4 tracks of sort of like a medium-sized humanoid heading this way, and then 3 swiftly running back the way you came. You can also see, it's hard to really guess, but you'd say about a dozen smaller humanoids have also been here. Now, their tracks are somewhat muddied, but there is one combining feature, which is that they all eventually converge and head off behind this sled, the sled tracks. Now, there are also 2 larger tracks, 2 sets of larger tracks, I should say, which start a way away from the sort of scene, but they start right next to where the sled tracks are.
This is so weird. There's more than just big tracks here. Look, there's
Oh, and,
all
sorry,
these
John.
little
Sorry, John.
ones.
One more detail. You would discern that all of the tracks, except those of the dwarves, seem to be relatively fresh, potentially less than an hour old.
There's a here you can see the 3 and the 4 there, tracks of what look like the dwarves, and then there's all these. Oh God, it's a lot of tracks here from something small and something big. They all lead that way.
We got dwarves, yetis, and thieves. Woo!
Now, also, John, as you see the corpse now, as you look at it, you can see that he has not been sort of wantonly ripped limb from limb. He's been ripped limb from limb because the majority of him has been eaten.
Ugh.
The only part remaining unmarked, his severed head, lies in the snow.
My
However,
God.
there are no large tracks around him. Only starting at the sled. The only visible large tracks, I should add, are starting where the sled marks are a short distance away.
Would I be able to look down and see if there's any dragon tracks at all or anything larger, just in case?
I would say it would be so obvious to all of
I
you
figured it would
because of the bloody size of the things. A dragon has not, at least a dragon has not landed here. We'll put it that way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there is certainly no sign of a dragon attack. You'll all be pleased to hear.
Yes.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any dragon marks like
no, but
What a way to
Storm
go.
said.
whatever happened to this person, they
I thought this was gonna be a simple recovery mission. Gotta deal with some weird things, man.
Ugh. This
Game
is not
over,
a
man.
pleasant sight at all.
Ugh. What a way to go.
Are there any of the smaller tracks, not the dwarf tracks, but the smaller, I guess what we'll call the thieves tracks next to the eaten dwarf?
There is one. And actually, we'll go off John's roll, it's pretty good. As you sort of have a look and inspect, it looks as though one of them split off from where the sled was and knelt down. You can kind of see some like indents. Knelt down and seemingly sort of had a look at the body as well, and then headed away.
Don't like this at all.
so we might be dealing with a lot. But yeah, the sled tracks seem to go that way.
I guess we have to go grab the sled.
Guess so.
How clear is it still snowing or is it like cleared up now, like totally? Connor?
It's kind of like it's clear at this point. I mean, there's kind of like snow drift a little bit in the air from the winds, and you do see as you're looking, you do see that some of the tracks are becoming less clear, kind of visibly to you, because of the drift.
These
but-
smaller tracks are new, maybe an hour. If we don't follow them soon, if we are, we're gonna lose them.
Well, let's head for the sled for sure. See what's there.
I can't wait for this to backfire.
So as you walk over and kind of begin, investigating the direction of the sled tracks, you see that whatever these two large, they look almost, I would say this is pretty obvious. You wouldn't really need to check for this because they're fresh. They look like almost like large bear paws. Appear to be pulling or behind the sled. It's hard to tell because, the tracks are both together. But they appear to be either pulling or behind the sled in some way. And then there's the smaller tracks on either side.
Connor, do I know of any creatures that would work with a yeti?
Oh.
Okay.
However, Craig, you can make me a history check. Actually, no, make me a nature check, of course. Make me a nature check.
Nature. Oh,
Yeah.
Boy.
Hey,
17.
it's not bad.
while the tracks... Okay, that's pretty good. So, Craig, you know that Yetis are very, very adept at moving in the snow, to the point where their tracks might fade a little quicker than some other people's. And you would also note that the tracks leading the sled away, while they are large, they are not big enough and not the right shape to be Yeti tracks.
Okay. I would just relay that to the party
Okay.
and just say, those tracks, they're not Yetis.
What do you think they are?
I have no idea. But they're not
Alright.
Yeti tracks.
Okay, so we don't get to fight a Yeti. That's good.
Get to.
That's good. I mean, we don't have to. I mean, not that we want to. We don't want to fight anything if we can avoid it. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm a little unsettled by being out here. I don't mean to concern anybody.
Let's just follow these stupid tracks so we can
Let's
get
do
the
that.
iron.
Let's do that.
While they're fresh.
Why?
Press on.
All right, so you guys are going to follow the sled and the smaller tracks.
Yes.
So, as you head in
As
that
we're
direction...
doing that,
Mhm.
I will have my quarterstaff kind of dragging a hole.
Oh,
through
you're like leaving your own track.
Leaving your own
to go back.
trail.
Okay,
I like
cool.
that.
and it's gonna because I assume like if we're wearing the shoes, I assume that the shoes are making it so that these are relatively thin tracks from us.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm having something a little bit deeper.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you're dragging your staff as you go along and digging your own little track. So as you follow these the sled tracks, you kind of head down almost like a small gully, and then you start heading up another rise again. Now, as you reach the top of the rise, you can look out and actually see maybe 100 to 150 feet in front of you the sled. And in front of it appear to be two hulking polar bears.
Ooh.
Also, the creatures you seem to have been following are goblins. Just based on their stature at this distance, that's what you'd guess. You see a small group of them, seemingly led by a larger one, and they're all kind of lazing about in a circle by the sled. Upon further inspection, you can see that they appear to be eating some sort of food. It's hard to make out what it is at this distance, but
Dwarf.
for sure you've been following a group of goblins. Now, one thing that we'll go off your roll still, John, because it's still pertinent. One thing that you'd notice based on the goblin tracks, there are less goblins here than the tracks would have you believe. They all seem to lead towards where you see the goblins taking a break with the sled, but there's less there than you would have thought.
Be careful. There seems to be more tracks than goblins. Maybe they're around.
Goblins can be tricky, so we might need to.
Now, what I'm going to do, apologies, I'm going to stick you on the combat map
Oh, that can't be good.
at the
Okay.
back. Not that you could possibly fight these guys, but I'm going
Ew.
to stick you on the combat map at the back, so you can just kind of decide like how you want to approach and what you want to do, and you can see the setup. So this is the situation. The goblins seem to be completely involved in essentially their lunch break, and are paying no heed to you approaching, because of course, as it is the snow, your approach is completely silent, and with their backs turned and their attention elsewhere, they seem to be paying you no heed.
Are the polar bears like attached to the cart or the sled?
Yes,
sorry?
they are harnessed very crudely in sort of like leather straps and braces around their necks that look awful. They are very crudely strapped as beasts of burden, essentially. It's quite a sad sight seeing such majestic creatures, especially that you, Fletch, would know to kind of very much so respect and revere in the Dale, being used in such a barbaric sense.
So what do we do?
Well, I think we need a distraction first, something to get their attention away.
My only concern with a distraction is that if that's not all the goblins there, that might bring the rest of them to here, if you catch my meaning. I mean, I'm for taking them by surprise whilst we can.
I agree with you. I think that'd be the best course of action. I don't know how open these guys would be to negotiations, if you catch my drift.
All right. Well,
Now, who is an outsider? Okay, I guess it would only be Fletch, honestly. Fletch, make me just because of the comment about negotiation, Fletch, make me a history check. See how much you know about the Dale.
Nat 20.
wow.
Knows quite a bit.
Natural 20.
There's a lot of nat 20s this game.
Know all about it.
So, well, in that case, let me just get up.
Copy paste this giant paragraph.
No, would I ever?
Everything about the Dale ever. Just go.
Just give him a
Fun
book.
reading.
Here's the book.
So, Fletch, you would know that actually goblins in the Dale are not always hostile. You would have heard and potentially proceeded in potentially meeting and dealing with some of them. Now, they are very hardy and they are mostly involved in banditry and theft, but they are not impossible to work with. You would know that actually with a nat 20, you get to know the fact that most goblins are very nomadic. However, they have a fortress called Karkalok that is somewhere within the tundra, and it is reported to be a very large goblin sort of a bandit camp and trading post. And yeah, with a nat 20, I would say you would be pretty confident that these goblins would have found a major score to take back to Karkalok and potentially either, win favor with a more powerful chieftain or just make a quick buck. And they would probably be very excited by their prize. And also, because you're nat 20'd, I'll say that you would know that while you don't know exactly where it is, you know that Karkalok is far from here.
Okay. I'll just relay all of that.
Yeah, of course. I assume that you explain these things to the party. Unless you say you don't, of course.
No, it's fine. But why only do we have anything to negotiate with? We have nothing to offer them. Those goblins are not going to want to give up that sled.
The only thing I could think of is coin. But
Well, we
I
don't
know
want
we
to.
just got 100 coin. That's the problem.
I'm pretty sure that's worth a lot more than 100 coin.
Yeah, those ignits.
Yeah, you would know, Elias, that
Yeah.
based on the size of that sled, you're probably looking at several hundred, if not 1,000 gold worth of iron.
That's nice. That's a pretty penny, yeah. There's no way they're going to negotiate, so I guess we got to take them by surprise, like I said.
What if some of us try to flank them on the other side, or at least move around, and then some of us will go, so we can all hit them from all angles in case they try to flee.
You might be hearty. I'm not so much. It'd be nice for me if someone were close by. However, I will say, I'm going to invoke my arcane ward when I casted mage armor. So I have this little blue glowing gem around me now.
Nice. Alert
Just
them
like
to
a
where we
little-
are. Haha.
Well,
Before the party finalize their plan, why don't we take a short break here so people can go grab a drink and everything, and we shall be back magically, instantly through the power of editing. But to all of us playing, let's take a 5-minute break. Welcome back. The party is just finalizing their strategy, I think, to deal with these goblins. So why don't we go back to that? So what's the plan?
Right, so what we do then is we go from either side, we flank them, we jump on them, we punch them up, beat them to death, or maybe not to death, and then we take their things. How's that sound?
Yeah,
I'm
getting close
happy
to
to bring them to death. I'm not.
Jesus.
I mean, they're just wee goblins. You don't know if
Yeah,
they...
but they're a pain in the arse. Like.
They are at that, yes. I've never met a good goblin, I don't think.
So, do you think those polar bears are on their side? Are they?
I'm a
Noisy.
little worried that those polar bears are gonna snap free.
That's why we just stay
Well-
away from the polar bears.
So what about this? What if one of you, who's got the shiny magical thing, shoots a bolt that way? They go have a look at it and we jump in from behind. Then we don't have to deal with the polar bear.
My worry is that they would, instead of going towards it, they would look at where it came from and look at me. So I'd rather not. I would rather you strong people go
Right.
towards them and then fight them, and I will be back here shooting things from this distance.
All right, fine. chicken.
We
I
could
don't
always-
think I've ever said this before, but I agree with Izar.
Not a chicken. I am pragmatic. Thank you very much.
You sure?
One thing,
Go ahead.
sorry, what I was going to say is that if we do begin to fight them, they might try and release the polar bears from the sledge. So
Focus
go for
those.
go for those goblins first.
All right. Kill the
Okay.
gobos, going for the bears. Got it.
We could also get closer, a little bit closer to them, and then when we pop up, and then run backwards a little bit to drag them away from the polar bears, or at least most of them away. And then whatever's left that's trying to release the polar bears. A wizard or someone that can get there very quickly could stop the one or two that are behind.
All right. So
I'm
we're
gonna
in agreement. There's nobody who wants to try the peaceful route here. We're all just gonna go in and clobber them.
That's fine.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So is that the plan?
That's the plan.
Clobber
That's the
them.
plan.
Okie dokie. So you
Whack
guys
'em.
heading closer?
Yes.
I'm not.
Okay.
I think those of us who are moving closer.
You
probably
can
wanna
move
sneak
yourselves
a little bit
appropriately on the
closer.
map at this point, by the way. You guys can have control until we start combat.
I'm gonna hide
Oh,
behind
fine.
the big guys.
Somebody's got to go forwards.
I mean, how close?
will,
Because
where's
if we do, should we do a stealth
Arrow.
check or something?
Well,
like
are you
that?
trying to sneak?
I'm
would-
gonna.
I
I
would
will
think we
sneak ahead. Don't worry, guys. I'm
Okay.
clearly just the same as the rest of the tundra. I'll just sneakily. They won't see me at all.
Roll stealth, and Kat, does your armor give you disadvantage on stealth?
It might.
Yes, it does.
Excellent. Roll
great.
stealth.
It
This is
does.
gonna
You
go
rolled
well.
a 6.
But-
I rolled a
Craig rolled a
6,
but-
6.
so I'll move a little
Darmok
bit
fully
forward.
believes the white of his outfit is going
So
to.
you, Darmok, you see, well, everybody else, you see
Innate.
Darmok sneaking out in front of you, leading the way. And as they step forward, he just suddenly puts his foot down. And you know when you put your foot on snow and it's way deeper than you thought? That
Yeah.
happens. And while he's kind of shifting down, his sword and his shield just clang against each other.
Oh dear.
And you see all of the goblins snap round, sort of half-eaten sandwiches and bits of meat dropping to the floor as they all spring up to their feet. And at this, the larger goblin runs out, drawing a scimitar, points it towards you, keeping a distance, and goes, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And you see now this female goblin with this like rot-toothed grin is looking towards you, and you can't tell whether it's a grin out of sort of fear and trying to bolster her own confidence, or she's trying to intimidate you. But she appears to be shivering, pointing this sword towards you. It's shaking slightly. She goes, "What are you doing here? Come on, answers or we'll get you."
I would like to cast Thaumaturgy and, in a very large, booming voice, say, "We are here for the sled that you have taken.
Nice.
So
We would
when
like it back, please."
when you say in this booming voice, you almost notice like a ripple, a shockwave emanate
Yeah.
out through the
Oh,
snow in
God.
the camp.
You're gonna cause an avalanche.
Goblins don't look too shaken, it must be said. But the leader goes, "Yeah, all right, I hear you. Well, what's you got to give it to us? We worked hard for this one, we did."
You killed
Fletch,
a man.
Fletch, you
That's
told.
what you
Wait.
did.
Fletch told us. Fletch
You
told
already
us
what?
about the goblin camp, right?
Cocklock,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Continuing in my thaumaturgy. Yeah, I can just yell. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to drive that all the way to the karma
Karkalok.
whatever.
Cocklock.
We could offer you like a piece of gold or something.
A piece. Oh.
At this,
They might not be smart. I don't know.
before the lead goblin can reply, one of the smaller goblins behind him goes, "Yeah, boss, it is pretty far to Karkalok, and the others did storm off already. I don't know. Maybe can we make it back there?" And you see her turn back around and go, "Yeah, shut up, you." She turns around and goes, "Right, 1 gold? Are you having a laugh? You're gonna have to give us something better than that."
Would you like a
What's
set
your
of nice
price, bro?
boots?
Ooh, nice
Would you like
boots.
some boots?
Nice boots.
That's actually not
Would you
terrible.
would you like a set of very nice boots?
How much they worth?
500 gold.
Let me see these boots. Come here.
I'm gonna hand him my boots.
All right, so you
One
walk
boot,
up to
one
the,
boot.
the goblin boss hands up to you,
That's all I
and so I'm assuming you're giving them one of your like fancy boots that you took
Yeah,
off to put
what-
snowshoes on.
One of the
So she takes it off you, and you see now that her hands are.
Oh no, no, no!
Well, actually,
I'm handing her the boots that was the dwarf gave us.
the
Storm.
snowshoes. Oh,
The
did you not put them
snowshoes.
on?
Oh, I did. I'm gonna take them off.
Oh, okay. You're taking your
I'm taking
shoes
off- I'm
in
taking
the
off-
tundra.
Yeah, it's fine.
I just want to check that's what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay, you're now wearing one shoe in
One shoe.
minus 10 in a
Yep.
tundra.
Yep.
Feels
What do you
good,
do
man.
with your foot that doesn't have a shoe on it?
She's hopping.
I'm holding it up.
Okay,
Lord above.
My god.
we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
fine.
take off your snowshoe and hand it to this goblin, and she's sort of like, well, actually, make me a perception check, Dharma. Let's see if you
Okay.
notice.
Dear Lord.
7.
You don't really see too much other than this goblin. It's somewhat shabby, and she's turning it over in her hand. She goes, "Oh yeah, look at that, lovely stitch work, lovely."
Mm-hmm.
And she starts walking away, holding your shoe. You gonna let her?
I'm a hold her back. Be like, well, the rest of them can come here if you want, but stay here with the shoe.
She goes, I don't know. You can have it back. I think I'd rather have the sled full of iron, to be honest. It's a nice shoe, though, and hands you it back.
Although the shoe is lighter on your trip than
Well,
all of the
but
iron.
we
And
ain't gonna sell this shoe for as much as that, are we?
are you sure?
Yeah. Are you, like, not that bright or something? Which of these do you think's worth more? This or that? And she gestures towards the sled.
Well, this
well,
is
if you take into account any losses that you have already suffered, plus the losses that you may suffer on the way there, it's actually possible that the iron is worth substantially less. I'm just saying, it's a long journey. We could take that off your hands and, give you like a shoe and some gold or something like that. Shoes and gold, something like that. Yeah, something like that.
With this, she goes, well, all right, it is true that the journey's been a little arduous, and we are a little far from home. Not impossible, I'm not saying that. But we're
this would make it easier.
Go on, yeah, all right. Calm down about your shoe. Let me finish my sentence. So, what I'm saying is, if you were to give us real supplies, we will take the shoes as well. But if you were to give us real supplies, I mean, I don't want to sound too desperate, but fire and food, then we might be able to part with some of the iron. Some.
Oh.
Yeah, we need all that iron though.
Yeah, that wasn't part of the deal. They're not going to accept a half load, that's for sure.
Well, you got to give us something to sweeten the deal.
Is this
What
is
happens
this like
if
an
we
actual
could-
wheelbarrow that's just like sitting there randomly?
No, that's not that. That's a hallucinatory wheelbarrow. You've been out on
Whoa.
the tundra too long.
I can throw in a hand axe and a hunting trap.
Hunting traps are... They're worth a little bit. What else you got?
If we return this, you can have some gems. Those will
Yeah?
probably give you some real nice pride or whatever it is that you're gonna get back home. I don't have them
Wait,
on
you
me.
Really? You promise?
If you give me back all the iron and drive it back to the city, I'll give you my portion of the gems. I can't say their portion.
how much-
I'll give you mine.
What about the rest of you? All the gems for the iron?
Yeah, it's no can do, but
I would happily sacrifice my portion of the pay to.
I'm already giving you a shoe.
Well, I think gems are worth a bit more than a shoe.
And she keeps her shoes because she needs those.
I can't. I have my own things I've got going on. All right, I need the money, so I will not.
Look, that's all of that iron isn't even yours. You were the one that found it, correct?
Yeah. Although,
Here.
you know what they say, finders keepers.
So, Did you kill that dwarf?
No! What do you take us for? Look at us. We're goblins of high repute. We simply go around, find things that other people don't want anymore, or that they won't miss too much. We take them and sell them. We're not murderers.
Right, and the polar bears? Are those
Did you
yours?
see what happened to that dwarf?
Yeah, we
You
did see
gotta
what
do
happened to that
that.
dwarf. We thought you were sitting here eating them.
You thought we were eating him?
It sure looked like it from a distance. I'm
Have
not...
you ever met a goblin before?
Oh, a
We
few.
might be small and smelly, but we ain't bloody cannibals.
Right,
Here's the
sorry.
deal.
So what happened to him
That's
then?
very offensive.
I apologize. Just first impressions, I guess. My mistake.
Here's the deal.
Barely any goblins are cannibals, all right? Like,
Barely
out of
any.
10, 2 or 3. At most. None of us.
You bring us you bring the iron ingots. We give you some gems. We'll
Why
also
are you
give like-
yelling? I'm 10 feet away from you.
Actually, you are.
Oh my god.
God, don't be
Oh
that.
my
You really are the
goodness.
I'm
actually
controlled
guy.
by the DM, so I say I'm 10 feet away from you. Oh, would you look at this? Oh, look, I'm 10 feet away from you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Railroading. No.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's the deal, right? You bring the sled back. We give you gems.
Yeah.
And a hand axe and
I want your gems, though.
my gems.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing.
You all said you got a share of it. I want yours.
No. But what you do get is you get to slap the dwarf over here who insulted you.
What?
What?
No, I want her gems.
Darmok's gonna turn to Fletch and be like, "This is the rug trader all over again."
What happened to our initial plan here, friends?
Wait, what's your plan?
Our plan was to just take the iron and.
You were
hope
gonna
that
bloody kill us, weren't you?
No.
You said, did we
no.
murder that dwarf? And you were gonna murder us.
No, what? No, we were
It's
going
not
to.
like we
were going
did.
to tell you because we think you're such fine, sophisticated people. We were going to simply inform you that the iron that you have was not just the property of the dead dwarf, but instead there are many dwarves who do definitely.
You know
miss
what?
those
I'm
things.
tired of this. May I? Excuse me. What's your name there?
Nice.
Smart name, what's your name?
My name. I'm gonna steal your accent there for a second. My name, Dorothea Brightsteel.
Alright,
And
my name's
I-
Isobai.
Your name? Sorry, what?
Isobai.
Isobai. All right.
Yeah.
Right. Could I have a look at those iron ingots for you? And I will tell you
Yeah.
exactly what they're worth.
Well, we know they're worth a lot.
Do you though? Have you
Are
heard
you gonna
about all
pay
the
me the
counterfeit
price?
iron ingots going round?
Roll deception.
I love it.
I
Please
wish
be
I
good. Please
did.
be good. Please be good. 11.
Counterfeit iron?
Yeah,
What do they make it out of? Tin and paint it grey?
exactly
No.
right. And they put some rocks in there too to make it very heavy. And then you think you've scored
No.
something, and then you don't. You haven't actually. So
I've wielded enough iron in my time to know iron. And that's iron.
Are you sure? I've definitely heard about these rocks that people have been replacing them with.
Listen,
Have
I'm
you
going to
really
make this
gotten-
very clear. You can give me all the gems that you were promised, or we're taking the iron.
well, we can't let you do that now, can we?
Well, then give us the gems. No one has to die.
I give up. You lot decide this. You went against what we initially said, so I'm just gonna sit over here and wait until you figure this out.
I mean, I'm all for giving them the gems. I could take or leave the money.
And Dorothea, I guess technically we could just say we're gonna give them the gems and then not. Because here's the
Yeah,
thing,
I
right?
know
Here's the
that.
thing.
Yeah.
We would be inside the walls, and I feel like the goblins would be hard pressed to get past the guards. So we could just promise them the gems and then just leave them out in the cold to die.
All right, fine. Then we can
I'm
do
glad that you decided what Eddie's plan was this whole time, but whatever.
All right, cool. All right, we've discussed it and we've decided that we will
Sure,
indeed
fine.
give you the gems, but you do have to bring the iron back.
with the polar bears, and then you let the polar bears go.
Well, we use them to carry our stuff. We ain't doing that. But we'll bring the iron back.
All right, fine. Let's go.
All right, where are we going?
Where are we
Shander.
going? Which
Back
way was the...
from where we came?
We're going to Bryn Shander. You know where that is?
Yeah, just over there. He
Yeah,
points
that's where we're going.
to whence you came. All right,
Right.
so you guys are leading
where
this
we're going.
goblin party back to Brinchanda?
Apparently.
Apparently we are.
I'll corral the boys. They ain't gonna want to go inside. Bear in mind, crossbow bolts ain't exactly too fashionable. All right. And yeah, she follows behind you with her small group of goblins, and the polar bear's pulling the sled until eventually you start approaching Bryn Shander. You go up onto the track, of course, because it's far easier for the sled at this point. And yeah, you guys start approaching the gates of Bryn Shander. As you do, you hear sort of indiscriminate call-outs until eventually the commander you met earlier, as well as 6 guards, all wielding heavy crossbows, sort of jog out of the portcullis and stand in a line facing you. And Commander Fiona walks up to you all and goes, "What on earth is the meaning of this? Tell me the irons on that sled."
Yes.
Yes, Commander. The iron is there. However,
We never
and-
really checked.
Darwin's gonna get a little bit closer and just like, silently be like, and we've also captured the people that have murdered that one tiny dwarf.
Wait, what?
What on earth? Oh my goodness me.
Roll deception.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Why would you say this? I
16.
can't believe it.
Man,
Cheers.
this is
You
gonna
are
be great.
harsh.
I don't like this at all.
What
And
kind
with
of
this,
party
she
are we?
stares you in the face, Dharma, and goes, "Very well," and gestures to the rest of you to walk over. And as you walk over to her, she gives a brief nod to one of the guards with her, who then litter the goblins with crossbow bolts,
Oh,
and they all fall to the ground dead. She goes,
Wow.
"Good work.
Very
I'm
well.
not gonna lie.
Bloody hell.
I'm a little pleased we got to do that ourselves.
Mhm.
One less nuisance around Bryn Shander."
That's
I
Did we just do war
awful.
crimes?
I agree.
I feel like we just committed war crimes.
We did.
No,
They don't know. Shh.
I mean,
I mean, we didn't. You
I'm not
we
gonna
didn't
lie.
get anyone.
Eddie was gonna do similarly, but
Yeah.
not
I
that.
was just gonna
Paladin,
lie
I'm
to
gonna
them.
fuck with you so much.
Not that.
I
Evil
don't
Paladin
lying to
Hunter.
them. That's my extent to evil. I'm just like, oh yeah, lie to them. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
There
fine.
was like a 40% chance Eddie was gonna give the gems up.
However, as you all look back in shock, these crossbow bolts whistling through the air and impacting the goblins, who all immediately crumple. You're left facing these 2 polar bears, strapped into harnesses, shifting uncomfortably and eyeing you all with wary glares. They don't seem to react at all to the goblins going down. Their gazes fixed upon you and the guards facing them.
At the very least, I feel like we should release them.
If you want to approach the bears, have fun with that. My hands are clean to this.
Can I see? Actually, first off, what does the commander say anything to what Fletch said about releasing the polar bears?
Nope.
Okay.
She seems to be just watching, seeing what you'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree, Fletch. And can I see like how they're held together, like how the
Yeah.
harness is on them?
Yeah, you see that these leather harnesses are, but they're very little more than sort of like rough scraps of leather bound around them and clipped together just behind their necks. At a cursory glance, you figure that undoing those clips would essentially just free the beasts of the harnesses.
Hey, but if you want to let them go, shouldn't you like take them a little bit away from the city? What if they like smell the ham cooking in the market or something and they come back?
I'm not approaching them.
I'm pretty sure they'll just run away. I don't
That's-
really like civilization.
Right.
Especially with, I don't know,
Alright,
half a dozen crossbow bolters.
I'll
It's
trust
fine.
you, Fletch. Go for it. Just don't
Oh,
stick them on us.
I'm okay. All right. I'll go
I,
myself to the polar bears.
I will also
Well,
come.
You're the big strong man.
Ho-
Both
ho-
of
ho-
you.
Hold on. And I'm going to try and get an angle where I can see the attached clips and try to mage hand them free. Try to.
All right,
Pick-
as your spectral hand floats towards them, they look incredibly wary, and they are looking directly at you because, of course, you are controlling the mage hand visibly. These animals are intelligent enough to put
Well-
together that
well-
it's you doing something.
Whilst Eddie's doing that, can I like coo soothing words?
Here, a polar bear. It's okay.
I'm going to say, Fletch, your words have no impact. And John, while you try to creep your spectral hand towards these 900-pound murder machines, why don't you go ahead and make me an animal handling roll?
Here we go. With a +0.
Nice.
Hey!
That's good.
Oh.
19. All right, you managed to deftly get in there with the mage hand and undo their harnesses. And the straps do just kind of like collapse and fall from the bears' bodies. And as they look towards you, you see almost a glint of recognition in their eye that you just helped them out of this.
The bears
There's
will
nothing
remember
else.
this.
There's nothing else from this, but the bears turn around and walk together off the track and quickly disappear into the tundra over a ridge.
Well, that makes me feel a little less shite about these poor bastards.
They deserved.
I mean, a little bit, sure, but
They were thieves, but that was a lot.
anyway.
It worked out. It
And
was
at
a
this
great
point-
idea.
The commander looks towards you, John, and goes, "Wait, even," and goes, "They got what they deserved. They were murderers and thieves. We can't stand for such instability around Bryn Shander. As for those Yetis, we'll have to keep an eye out."
Well, we brought the iron back.
Yeah, I mean, so now that we've released the beasts of burden, you two, looking at Fletch and Darmok, you want to pull the rest of the way?
Ah,
With this, the commander just goes, "Well, I would simply inform the dwarves upstairs. They can handle their own mess.
This is true.
The three of them should be able to push it into town anyway."
All right, let's go. Let's
Fair.
go speak to them then, shall we?
Sure.
All right, so you guys head upstairs, back through the gatehouse, into the room where the dwarves are sitting, looking a lot more relaxed at this point. One of them's even seems to be smoking like a rolled-up cigarette, and the other two are just sipping their drinks. Even the one who was previously just staring at the wall appears to have warmed up a little bit. And you see the lead dwarf look up towards you and go, "Yep, that commotion outside you bringing our iron back?"
Indeed.
Yes, it is.
Aye.
And he peers out the window and sees the corpses of the goblins and goes, "What happened to those unlucky buggers?
They stole your iron.
They aren't the ones who attacked us."
Well, best not tell anyone else that. See?
Well, they stole your iron. Regardless of who attacked you, they had it.
Whatever attacked you wasn't there when we went to go find your sled, and these fellows were taking your sled further away.
All right, honestly, just happy it's back. Gonna get paid, go home, see my mum, I think. Had enough of this frozen shithole.
Speaking of payment, what about
Yep.
those gems?
Fair's fair. Here you are, mate. And he picks up a sort of just like string-tied leather pouch and throws it towards you, John. And as you catch it, you undo the string and look inside, and there appears to be 5 roughly cut gems inside.
Amazing how there's exactly 5 of them, eh?
Hmm.
Oh, handy, isn't it?
Appears to be 5. There might be more.
Almost like I wrote that in this notepad. That's weird.
What
Roughly
gems
cut
are in
gems,
there?
eh?
What's that?
What gems specifically are in there?
Make me a
Make me a gem check.
make me a jemmies check. No, just make me an intelligence check. See if you know.
18.
Wow.
Well, you would guess that 2 of the cloudier gems are opals, and there are 3 sapphires in there as well. Although the grime and the frost on them, they definitely need a good cleaning and the sort of handiwork of a professional to turn them into anything sellable. But the one thing that you would know that is pertinent, I guess, is that the gems are of equivocal value.
I curse slightly under my breath.
I want
I'll
a
just-
blue one, please.
I'll take whatever's
Aye.
left.
really fast.
I like opals. They're cute.
Take whatever.
All right, so you can all add a 1 gemmy to your inventory.
Oh, don't like that.
One Jemmy.
Mm-mm.
Doing
And with
it.
that, Pruna looks up at you and he goes, "Right, well, I suppose that's our work done. You can go now unless there's anything else."
Oh,
I start leaving.
what's his name again? Hruna.
Pruna,
Pruna.
Hruna.
Hruna. All right.
I hasn't actually told you that though, so you don't know his name.
Yeah.
It's true.
I would like
Hey,
to go.
you.
I would like to. Hey, you. Yeah. That's. I mean, it kind of sounds almost like the same, but anyway. I'd like to go up to him and be like, so, excuse me. I don't think I caught your name. I'm Dorothea Brightsteel. Don't know if you've heard about my foundry, and I was wondering if you'd be open to some business with myself instead of black iron blades.
If you think I'm going back out there to collect more iron, you must be mental.
Or perhaps you could put in a good word for me with some of your pals who kept coming here.
Listen, we were under direct contract with Black Iron.
All right, I get
I
it.
mean-
I'm just
I can go to them and ask them to sell to their rival if they want, but
well, that's not gonna happen. We all know that they're not the best sort, but sure. Just thought I'd put myself out there.
well, I'm afraid I think that's it for us as a crew even, so
All right, well, all the best
help
to you,
you
man.
out.
Travel safe.
Darmak's gonna go up to Storm, the nervous dwarf, and say, we didn't see any dragon tracks around here, but keep your eye out.
Wow.
for this he fixes you. His pupils, you see his pupils are tiny. He fixes you with this intense gaze right in your face as you lean down to him, and he goes, "Oh, it's out there. It's out there, all right. It sleeps on the ship in the ice. It's out there. You'll see. Don't go too close.
Serious PTSD.
Don't go too close."
Ship in the ice.
Yeah, I was like,
I feel
And
really
with this,
bad
he
for those
snaps to you, Ed, and he goes, "Oh yes, there's a ship out there. You can see it from up on the cairn. It's out there in the ice. Don't know what happened to them. There's many like it, but this one, she sleeps in it. I know she does. I've seen her. The others don't believe me, but she's there."
we'll keep that in mind. And with that, Darmak's gonna leave.
All right, so you guys are making your way out?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys exit the gatehouse, it's really just starting to have the light fade. You're only out, for a few hours essentially, and the light's beginning to fade from the evening. What would you like to do? As you are
Well, I
back
suppose
within the
we
safety
should-
of Bryn Shander.
I suppose we should find Commander Fiona and see if she's found someone who can help us.
Know something about this
So are you going to go downstairs and speak to her if you can
Yes.
find her?
magic.
So you go back in the gatehouse, and you do see Fiona at the desk, and she looks back up to you and goes, "Ah, all of you, looking for more work?"
Actually, we were wondering if you had any information for us
She's like,
about
"Well,
what we
I
talked about this morning."
mean, I sent messages out 3.5 hours ago. I haven't heard back yet. It'll take some time. But for what it's worth, the people I sent them to, they should know somebody. You might have a journey ahead of you, though."
Hey, more snow.
Very well.
Yeah,
Well,
indeed.
how long do you expect a response?
Our Raven's usually quite efficient. Come back tomorrow, I'd say.
Very well.
That's good. You mentioned more work?
Yes, I'm sure that I can also send out, see if anybody has any need of you. For now, I think we're quite, to be blunt, going to be cleaning up your mess, but I'm happy to send word out again, see if anybody needs you. I can certainly vouch for you after that.
Thank you, Commander. That'll be appreciated.
All right? I'll see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
With that,
Alright.
you're back out onto the streets of Bryn Shander, outside the gatehouse.
All right, well, I need to go to my foundry quick. You're going to go to the inn, grab a pint. I don't know, Darmag, if you want to come with me, you're more than welcome.
So you have a foundry, Dorothea. I have these daggers that my family sent with me. I don't use them.
Yeah?
Could I sell them to you?
I mean, I'm not usually in the,
Inter-party bargaining. Here
not
we
usually
go.
in the business of purchasing personal items, but I can take a look for sure.
Well, I figure you could make them better or something, and then resell for a profit.
Sure, I'll take a look.
I will show her my
Come
two
with me.
daggers.
Okay,
Sorry, I will continue.
Can I make a
Yeah, so-
something check?
I mean, you don't need to make a check. This is your area of expertise. Izar's daggers are relatively normal. I mean,
Okay.
they're slightly ornamental, having been made to sell to posh people wanting something to stick in their belt that they're never really going to use. But they're certainly functional enough daggers. You wouldn't choose them to go into a fight with, but
I mean,
you'd estimate that, honestly, in somewhere like Icewind Dale, in somewhere like 10 Towns, people don't have much call for ornamental things like this. They're worth as much as any other dagger.
I mean, they're very pretty. Could potentially use them as a letter opener, or maybe a skewer. You could put your meat on there, and then I don't know, maybe a marshmallow. I don't have a use for them. I'm sorry.
A nice kebab.
No harm though. Just business.
Dorothea,
Anyway.
do you know of anyone who cuts gems in town?
I might know someone. DM, do I know someone?
Cuts gems.
Not in Bryn Shander.
Okay.
You would know that there are people in other towns that could most likely deal with it. In fact, you've heard of a jewelry maker who is out in Targos,
Targos. All right.
which is one of the towns connected to Bryn Shander,
Yeah.
to the northwest, I believe.
Not in Bryn Shander, unfortunately. It's not a fancy kind of place to do that sort of thing. But in Targos, I believe there's a lad there that can help us out. So perhaps if we get there along the way, wherever our journeys may take us, we could get
Aye.
down there.
All right, so Dorothea, you're going to your foundry. Everybody else going to Northlook, or are you going where?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not going to Northlook. I'm going to the Better Inn.
good.
The better in.
You want to go to the better inn. All right.
I can't be seen with these peons again.
So what
Please.
what are the rest of you doing? Bearing in mind that you are a little bit more familiar with Northlook, but you can go to different inn if you like.
Darmok's definitely going to go there and see his buddy, and just double check everything's okay, and as well as get into the gambling scene again that night after taking a night off.
Well, Eddie and Fletch, where are you guys going?
I guess I just go to the inn as well.
Yeah.
Northlook?
Yeah, sorry, North
All right.
Inn, yeah.
And Eddie as well. Okay, so, well, in that case, Eddie, Fletch, and Darmok, you guys head into the Northlook Inn. And now, the light's beginning to dim, the evening's picking up a little bit. It's by no means busy yet. Darmok, you're sad to see that the poker games for the night haven't kicked up yet. But you'd guess that's probably a couple hours until they do. So,
Fair.
as you go in, Scramsax looks up from the counter and sees you entering, and, his big, sort of scar-faced bald head looks up at you and smiles and goes, if it isn't my favorite customers, come in, get a drink. It's on the house. I owe you after that one.
Scramsax, my friend, thank you as always.
You're more than welcome.
I'll
No.
take two if possible.
I can already sense there's something about you lot. Tell me what you've been up to today.
Well, we headed north into that just dreadful blizzard, and to recover some merchandise from some dwarves that got their some of their ignits stolen.
Yeah, well, always busy work like that for people in Bryn Shander, isn't there?
Absolutely.
I'm glad I'm retired from all of that now. Anyway, he slaps your drinks down, 4 of them, 2 for you, Eddie, on the bar. He pushes them towards you. They look like, pretty standard mugs of ale, but while it's a bit of a rough and tumble inn, everything's clean and it looks pretty inviting. He goes, well, yeah, speaking of work, I bet you lot, seeing as you seem to like a bit of trouble, are interested in that ship everyone's talking about.
A ship.
Yeah, rumor has it there's a ship holed up in the ice, barely offshore. There's rumors going around the town. I heard some of the guards talking about it. Apparently, some businessmen have been spreading rumors. But yeah, the guard can't stop talking about it, and it's got everyone in town interested. They say the ship's full of treasure, and that the poor sod's crew in it froze up barely a few hundred meters offshore without even realizing. Poor sods must have walked the wrong way into the frozen sea, I bet.
Interesting. We heard a little bit about a ship earlier today, but it was some mad dwarf. I don't know if I really give it much credit.
Yeah, it's probably the same one. Interesting times. I heard someone in here saying they went to have a look at it. You can see the name scrolled on the side. Called the Dark Duchess, apparently. A foreboding name for sure, but, well, they're all like that, aren't they? Bloody pirates, I reckon, with a name like that. Might mean lots of things on board.
I hold up my glass and I go, I hear it was a bunch of hearsay anyway. And I drink.
Oh, yeah? How'd you hear that? I've heard it from all sorts of people.
I'm a fisherman around these parts. I hear it from all sorts. They said it wasn't even up there.
Roll deception.
19.
He goes, oh. Didn't recognize you. Interesting. Well, you know, everything around here is all he said, she said, innit? I think there might be something to looking into it, though. But there's also something said for staying in town. As you found out, outside the walls ain't so nice.
It seems like... Is there any other people that you've heard about that are thinking about going up to the ship?
Oh. I run a pub. Look, everyone in here, they're always giving it large, you know. Everybody in here, I think, is going to end the endless winter, innit? At least they all think they are after a few beers. It's hard to discern the real ones from the people who've had too much to drink, but I don't know. Seems to have captured people's imagination for sure. Something mystical about it, innit? Pirate ship out on the waters. It's a bit of change. Most of these people are used to just hearing of wolves and bears tearing people apart. I think people like the fantasy of it, you know?
I suppose. And Darmak's gonna lean a little bit closer to Scramsax. Now, again, this dwarf seemed a bit mad to me, but he did mention a much larger beast protecting that ship. So maybe if you hear anyone talking about it, I would discourage them from going up there.
Don't worry, Darmok.
Eddie chuckles and goes, they said it was a dragon.
And at this he raises an eyebrow.
Darmok gives him a very, very angry look.
I am like a pint and a half deep right now. I don't care.
Lightweight.
With this, Scramsax raises an eyebrow and he goes, a dragon? Well, I think I'm the only person in this town that's even seen one of them before, let alone kill one. Don't worry. I always discourage the younger lads from chasing after this stuff. Doesn't really help business if all my clientele's dead. If there is a dragon, though, things are about to get interesting.
There's a dragon, though. It needs to be dealt with. I've heard tales from my family members. They're not welcome.
With this, he kind of cocks another crooked smile and he goes, yeah, well, I killed a dragon once. By a few drinks, I might tell you the story.
Deal, my friend, and slam some coin on the table.
With this, he looks towards the two of you, or three of you even. He goes, yeah, turns out I wasn't so different from a lot of the people in this pub. Except I've actually done half the stuff they were talking about. I retired up here because, to be honest, I like the cold. And this is just where I found myself after a lot of wandering. Truth be told, there's a lot more to me than meets the eye. I settled down now, but I didn't get all these scars from smashed glasses, you know? And yeah, when I was younger, much younger, I found myself falling in with a group, not unlike yourselves. And, well, it ended meeting a dragon. We took it down in the end, but it was only me and this dwarven fella standing. And there was 8 of us. I wouldn't approach it with anything but the utmost assurance that you can deal with it. Truth be told, yeah, its horde might have bought this in, but I'd still tell you to run if you ever see one. things I saw. Great big green bugger he was. His
Green.
breath. His
Green.
breath was unbelievable. The acrid stench of it. He sprayed whatever this thing was all over 3 of us, and they just disintegrated. Never seen anything like it. Never saw anything like it again. With small jobs after that for me. We only killed it because the dwarven fella, well, he was handy with a crossbow, you see, built his own. He put a few bolts through the thing's eye, but took a lot. Run the other way if you ever see one. Never ever go looking for it. That's my advice.
Here's a crossbow in your eye.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Scrumsax. I know if you lost so many men, it's probably not something that you like to talk about very often.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure. I'm 52, mate. I've been around. I've lost more than a few men over the years. The way I see it, talking about them keeps the memory alive, innit? And hey, they took part in killing a dragon, which is more than most can say.
Good to be said. Hey.
Aye.
So, with all that said and done, don't go chasing after dragons. But there's also none here in the Dale, I don't think. I've seen some weird stuff here, but nothing like that.
Good to know. When are the poker tables starting up again?
Oh, well, Clancy normally organises them. He normally gets in about 6:30, so about an hour to go, I reckon.
All right. I'll drink my time away then.
All right. So you guys drink your time away, and well, Dorothea, what are you doing at your foundry?
All right, so I'm where's Justin's character at the moment? Where's Izzo?
Justin's gone to the Nicer Inn,
Oh, okay, he's got the nice
is
in.
called-
Okay, so he's not following me around. Cool.
which is called the Black Pony.
The
Lives in
Black
south.
Oh
Pony.
God.
Nice.
Kidding.
Already.
Giddy
So
up.
fitting.
So at my foundry, I'm just checking a few things, moving some papers around, you know, closing the door up so no one thinks that the store's actually open or that the foundry's open. And I'm gonna go to the back room and lift a floorboard up and go digging in there and bring out this little box that Dorothea stashed away. Opens it up, fiddles around some papers, a bunch of maps in there with like scribbles on incoherent writing, that sort of thing. A couple cross marks here and there. It looks like it's a map of the Icewind Dale, of the 10 towns, and she's gonna scurry away the money that she's gotten from today. She's gonna stash it in there. In there seems to be quite a little small fortune that she's started hoarding, as it were. And she's gonna stash that back onto the floorboards, put the floorboard back, cover it up with some dirt to make sure that no one sees that it's been moved, and then take a quick look, make sure no one's outside looking, and then leave and head back to the inn.
All right. And as you scurry away your stashed fortune and head to the inn, I think that's where we'll end today's session, unless anybody has any last things they'd like to do.
Well, actually,
I'd
there was
like
one thing
to-
I would want to do.
Oh, yep, Fletch.
Well, sorry, I don't want to interrupt Justin, but I would want to turn to Eddie at some point when Scramsax has moved away. And
Don't do
I
it,
would
Greg,
like to
please.
ask him, why were you so keen to shut down stories of that ship?
I've just heard so many of these tall tales. You've probably heard them yourself.
I mean, I've heard tales, but it seemed like there was something personal there, if you don't mind my saying.
I knew a few of the people on the ship. I've heard rumors that it went down, but I've never seen them again, so I try not to believe the rumors.
Well, wouldn't you be curious to know what happened to them?
Aye, but we head out 3/4 into the middle of the day and find nothing. What good is that?
All right. I've got nothing more to say on it.
All right. Justin.
I would just like to buy one of the finest vintages here at the Black Pony.
So the barman, who's a little bit better kept than Scramsacks, he's kind of in a slightly tatty waistcoat, and in here is a stone floor and kind of properly, carved stone tables. It's a little bit of a nicer establishment, but nicer in the way that it's kind of, just better built. There's not really anything like opulent or posh about it, but it's comforting. The hearth is nice, and the clientele in here seem a little bit more towards the older side. You can see that their roast beef dinner special is very popular. Mostly it's all old people getting served that. And Isa sitting at the bar. And you order their finest vintage, with which you're presented with a clay jar of wine put down in front of you. And he goes, "Ah, yes, this one is especially lovely. It's actually imported here from Waterdeep, if you would believe that." Yes. And he pours some out into your jar and says, "That would be 4 silver, sir."
I'll give him 4 silver.
Marvelous. And how has Sir's day been today?
It has been hectic. Let me just tell you. And I'm gonna regale him with all of the nonsense. Talk about how one of our companions just like wantonly got a bunch of goblins killed.
Yep.
It's like I was just going to lie to them, but of course she had to. Well, I liked her on the first day we met. I'm not gonna lie, but she seemed a little bit more unhinged than I initially thought.
With this, the barman just goes, "Oh, that's quite the day you've had today, sir. That's terrible." And I see that you, and he looks over the bar and goes, "I see you lost your shoes as well."
Did I lose?
Because you have the big heavy snowshoes on. So you're dressed in quite fine robes, essentially, with big
Nice
cumbersome fur snowshoes on.
I'll accept it. My whiz is pretty low. I will immediately change and apologize for my faux pas.
He goes, "Oh, it's quite all right, sir. You're looking rough and ready. It was a most apt look, I found." So will there be anything else, sir?
Nothing for now. Thank you.
Very well. In that case, we'll end today's session then.
Can I say something else?
Marvelous.
Yes, go ahead.
As Fletch has said this, Eddie's just kind of been.
He's gonna leg it.
He's just.
He's out of it.
Eddie kind of looks at Fletch and goes, "You've got my curiosity now. Maybe it is worth it."
While they're speaking, I'm assuming that the gambling is going on at this point.
Yeah, it's started up at this.
It started up. Darmok is going to play and lose.
Make me a. Do you have playing cards proficiency?
I do not.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, make me a. Well, you'd be bluffing. Well, you're bluffing. You're playing poker, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so make me an intelligence check. We'll not do deception. Let's just see how you do with intelligence.
All right. 4.
You lose 15 gold. Congratulations.
Yep.
Good job.
Good lord.
Darmok's gonna try again.
All right, you buy in again.
Mm-hmm. Do I do another one?
Yep. Oh, you absolutely do another
Okay. All right. 11.
All right. You win 15 gold. Can you see how this works now?
Again.
This all
Oh
day.
my
Oh God.
Lord above.
An 8.
You lose 15 gold.
At this point,
Stop while you're behind.
at this point, I would say Eddie's just watching, and Darmok's not gonna stop until someone says something.
All right. Anybody saying anything?
Fletch, who do we even talk to?
Well, while this conversation's going on,
Yeah,
Cat,
okay.
intelligence check.
9.
You lose 15 gold.
I'm
Cool.
gonna arrive
Minus
How much gold do
30.
you have left?
I'm gonna arrive eventually
5.
to this place.
So
Are you
I'm.
keeping on playing?
I can't play any longer.
Well, you can buy in for less. You can buy in for 5 if you like. Play a smaller hand.
You know what?
Good
Yes,
lord.
Darmok would.
All right, intelligence check.
Okay.
This is a gambling simulator.
11.
You win 5 gold.
Great.
You now have 10.
Can I arrive at this point?
Yes, why not? Dorothea, you arrive
Right.
in.
I arrive.
You see this. Well, you see, of course, Eddie and Fletch sitting together at the bar, but also you see this poker game that seems to have a lot of people laughing, but not Darmok. And you notice that the other people have noticeably larger piles of chips in front of them than Darmok.
All right, I'm gonna walk up to both of them and be like, all right, what is going on here? Is Darmok pissing away all his money?
Aye.
I just, you know, you come and you go, and I just.
Well, do you want to maybe not do what you're doing over there, Darmok? You think you've had enough?
Just another drink chug.
How are you gonna
I'll-
pay for those drinks if you save money aside to pay the poor man?
You
Got a
No,
little bit
good point.
potty
you
there, that was
Yeah.
impressive.
All right, friends. I'm out this game for now. It's tomorrow.
No.
Tomorrow for sure.
But this Clancy gives you a wave without even looking, goes, "Thanks for your money, Darmok. See you tomorrow."
Darmok.
That's it.
All right. With that, we'll end the session.
We'll
now
finally
that
end
That's
it.
There we
Now
go.
that,
Sorry.
now that Darmok's gambled away all of his money,
Yeah.
we'll end the session there. So thank you guys so much for playing. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did as well. And thank you all at home for watching, of course, or listening, or whatever it is you may be
Yes.
doing. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Have to
when
pay
we'll
respects
continue.
to the gobbos.
Yeah, when we'll get more relatively innocent people shot.
Yay!
Yay!
All right. Thank you guys so
Evil
much for watching. It's
campaign,
been a
let's
pleasure.
go.
Take care. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh boy.
Come on, Craig, get to your
Bye.
bye.